Hi everyone, Mon here. I know, long time no see me, and I have missed you all. Um, it's been since the last video that I actually made was Mars in Cancer and the big retrograde, and we all know that Mars was in Cancer for me in the 12th house. Mars was in Cancer for like 6, 7 months. And what a lesson that was, because having Mars um, move through my 12th house, I had no energy. I had absolutely no energy. And, I'm very aware that when you've got no energy, you've got no energy. And there's no striving for me anymore in life. There's been a lot of work that I've done since I've spoken to you guys. I'm still doing readings. I did not so much step away, but I'm very much in the flow of life now after Pluto conjuncting my natal sun. There's been a real leveling up spiritually for me. And of course, I did, last year, all that meditation. And I did a seeker's course as well, as opposed, it was called the Finder's course, as opposed to being a seeker. And I've pretty much finished now with teachers, and that's it. There's no reaching out anymore for any more teachers, because I've come to that place myself, where I'm a finder. I've found what I've been looking for, and there's a song written. I just reminded of a song. And the song was, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Well, I have found what I'm looking for, and I've never been happier in my whole life. I haven't had a day of loneliness since I can't remember. I mean, subscribers, you're going to know me and, what I went through in the dark night of the soul. So you're sort of going to know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the channel, please go into the playlists. If you're an Aquarian, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus, there's videos there that will help you with this Pluto transit. I'm back, and I'm back after 3 weeks in Bali. I've just been to Bali for 3 weeks. That was beautiful and very inspiring. And I knew before I went that I would be coming back onto YouTube, back to teach, support, and offer my services as an astrologer and numerologist and a intuitive soul savant. I've worked very hard all my life to find this freedom that I have now. And it's very exciting. It really is exciting. And I had never experienced in my whole life how I feel now, and the freedom that I have, and the lack of pain, emotional pain. It's just not there anymore. And in saying that, I haven't rebirthed yet. Okay. I have made rebirth videos, so please, you can go and have a look at them if you're just new to the channel. But, that's what I'm going to be teaching Aquarians and Leos and Scorpios and Tauruses, what the actual rebirth is. We talked about the dark shadow side, for the last couple of years. And now I'm in that transformation rebirth still. And as a human, I thought, rebirth, this is it. We don't know until we know. And what I can tell you from my observation is the Capricorns, Cancers, Aries, and Libras that I'm seeing that have rebirthed are earlier in the sign. Okay. There's an Aussie singer out there, Amel and the Sniffers, and she's just gone bam, boom. She's the 4th of January. So, she's definitely in her rebirth, that's for sure. And others that are having that success, that are doing what they came here to do, that are flowing, in whatever they were here to do, whatever the rebirth was for them. I'm observing that it was more so the earlier stages of the sign. Okay. So me being, the last sort of 4 degrees of Capricorn, I'm still rebirthing. Something interesting you might want to know, I have uploaded 2 videos there of me singing. Something that I never thought last time we all spoke was that I would end up singing again. I did let you all know and share that I had joined an Indigenous choir, and that inspired me to go out and think that maybe I could go back into clubs and pubs and sing again. So last October, I put an ad on Facebook or whatever and was looking for a singer, well, a guitarist, to support me. And I found an Aquarian. And as you know, Aquarius is my 7th house. I have a Leo rising. And he currently has Pluto transiting over his natal sun. He's very early Aquarius. And he was rather narcissistic and wanted to be the boss and be the power, where I did advertise looking for him. And so we mucked around for about 7 months. I have, just a couple of gigs. The universe wasn't supporting it, because it wasn't what I was looking for. And I allowed another person to overpower me. And because I am having Pluto transit the 7th house, Aquarius, that's my lessons now. So it never finishes. Pluto never finishes. I think the beautiful thing about astrology and studying and learning and seeing it work out in reality is that once you get a grip or an understanding, an awareness, an integration of Pluto, then it never stops. Right? It won't. It's not just the transit to natal sun. Now we have Pluto in Aquarius, and the Aquarius is the collective. So I can see already what's going on energetically with Pluto in Aquarius, and we will discuss that. I don't know what I've come back to discuss. Of course, astrology, numerology, Buddhism has been a real integral part of my enlightenment. So, that will always have a place. But after, very long transit and a lot of meditation last year, I've sort of evolved now to a point where I'm not looking at the astrology to answer questions. I'm observing the astrology, and with curiosity and with interest, and it's very interesting when you're not looking at astrology to save you, so to speak. Soothe, yes. Save, no. So it's up to us what we want to discuss. But I'm back, and yes, I'm still doing readings. I have a website. I'll pop that link in. I did take a break because I thought music was the path that I was supposed to take. So after the Aquarian, I found a Sagittarian who, interestingly, as Sagittariuses do, promised the world and didn't come up with the goods. So I gave him 3 months of my energy. And, it's nearly been a year, and I've just hands off. I'm still singing with the choir. I've been singing in Bali at different venues. I've had to get my voice work. I've had to do a lot of voice work to get my voice back to the strength that it was 25 years ago when I was an entertainer, a full-time entertainer. So, that was something that sort of came out of the blue. So, there's so much to tell you that's happened since my last video. But so number one lesson is when Mars is transiting your 12th house, you chill out. There's no energy. The energy is not there, and especially in Cancer. So those with the Leo risings, if you didn't have that energy and you couldn't come to the party, then, that was what we were meant to do. And so time just passed, and I never forgot you guys. I think I got 1 or 2 messages, where was I? And there was a little bit of a guilt there, but I believe in being inspired, and I I live in my own dimensional life. I'm, you know, I'd like to say I'm in a 5-dimensional life. I don't do things the way that society says we need to run businesses or do this or do that or do this. I'm in the flow. I'm in the here now. And I'm spiritually inspired, and that's how it's going to be. And I don't want to fit into society's boxes. We're all changing. Everything is changing. So here now, me. That's sort of where it's at. But of course, I have integrity in business. But my readings aren't even the same as anybody else's readings. I mean, it's all about you, the client, what you want to look at, how you want to do it. I find that a lot of my subscribers here aren't on social media. So, we have to work out some way that we can communicate, and some aren't on Zoom, but we can get around all of that. And I prefer to uh, be an astrologer and numerologist in that way, so it's more stylized to yourself. Time limits I'm not strict on, you know what I mean? I say yes this time, but if you're still wanting to chat and learn and discuss and seek my counsel, then there's no time limit. Do you know what I mean? But I do require a full payment. There's no doubt. I've let a few people pay less, and that hasn't worked out for me. So yeah, I do require the full payment that I ask, but time wise, I'm not strict about, and communication wise as well. All right, that's just who I am and how I like to work with people. So I will put that in the comment section. So, I don't want to give you too much today. I just want to reintroduce myself, and hopefully, I know that the algorithms have disappeared for me, but I'm hoping that the regular viewers will be able to catch this video. I think maybe I'll do a video on the Monday every week, Australia time, Sydney time, and we'll discuss the energies, or unless you ask me questions that you'd like me to discuss and do a video about, but we will discuss the energies. And so I'm going to finish up here, but already, we know, you guys know as astrologers, that the outer planets are all changing signs, and they have changed signs, but they're all going to retrograde back. Well, Pluto is now permanently in Aquarius for the next 18 odd years. But Saturn, I'm ruled by Saturn, and Neptune, have ingressed into Aries, but will regress back into Pisces. Uranus has ingressed into Gemini. I have a North Node, Gemini, 3 degrees, so I will get a hit of Uranus soon, next year, end of next year. But Uranus is going to ingress back into Taurus and finish off that energy. And, that's what our earthquakes are all about. Astrologers predicted that that's what Uranus in Taurus would be about, earthquakes. We had one here, only a 5 point something the other day in Queensland. I've already worked out the energy of Uranus in Gemini already. Okay, so I really do want to make a video about that, because it's very important that you understand this energy, because the chaos of Uranus in Gemini I am already starting to see on social media, and it's quite harsh. The energy of Uranus in Gemini for the collective, and I know that it will be in a harmonic angle with Pluto. However, Uranus is the great awakener, and it is chaos and change, and Gemini is our mind. And our minds are not healthy at the moment as a collective, with social media, with AI. Yeah, it's a whole nother big story. So we really want to sort of nail and get to understand those outer planets moving into the new energies that is happening for everybody this year and next year. So I'm going to finish now and just say I'm so grateful to be back. Please comment if you get to see this video, because my ego doesn't decide. My ego doesn't need to be here. I actually sort of thought for a while, well, what am I doing on YouTube? When I no longer seek astrology as a healing modality. Okay, I don't need astrology as a healing. I don't need anything as a healing modality. That's thanks to Pluto and thanks to the meditation and the higher awareness studies that I did last year and halfway through this year. But what has been coming to me is I am here to serve. I have the sun in the 6th house of Virgo. I know we have a lot of subscribers here that have that Pluto conjunct Uranus in Virgo opposing Saturn and Chiron in Pisces. And this is going to be lit up. It's lit up, like the sun is going to be going into Virgo in a couple of days. It is going to square that Uranus in Gemini. And by the time, it's all happening with that Virgo. We have the North Node and the South Node, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So it's important, I think, as part of that soul group that came in the 60s, mid-60s, towards the later 60s, to discuss that because, we all need support. And no man's an island, and I'm definitely not an island. And I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I've just got the answers for myself, and hopefully, the path I've taken and what comes out of my mouth, channeled really. I don't even labels. I'm not into the labels anymore. But whatever I'm here to do that could help any of you, I'm here to serve, and that has been something that has, continually sort of niggled at me, pushed at me. Monique, you've worked so hard for decades since I was 7 years of age to get to the point where the shame, the pain, the guilt, sorrow, the loss, everything is just gone. The loneliness. My day is serenity and peace. There's no drama anymore. And, a lot of you know that I started out with chronic addiction in 12-step groups, and that serenity prayer has come true. I've got the serenity day in, day out. I do a gratitude book every page every morning, and I'm so grateful for the peace and serenity that I have in my life, And to have that, you can't have drama in your life, And so when we've got drama in our life, a lot of it is attachments and conditioning. So if I can help in any way, that's what I'm going to do. It's not about likes, dislikes. I do have a desire that I'd like to be, working with people, counseling, astrology, numerology. That is a desire, but inshallah, that's my new word. It's an Arabic word, and it means God willing. And I love it. I love the word inshallah. And I'm using it a lot in my life because I don't want my will to run the show anymore. And it tends not to because of the awareness that I've come to after a year and a half of very in-depth meditation and training. So it's good to see you all. And I will be back for sure. This isn't it. I know I'm feeling it. And I'm glad that you get to see this video. And if you're new to this channel, there's lots in the playlists and there's more to come. And we'll get through this evolution of humanity together because that's what I believe is happening. All right. Thank you. And I'll see you soon. and you can call me Mon. Bye.